Okay, so this is that drawing of Jordan the Chosen One. I just wanted to work on the eyes a little bit more, but I'm just about done with it. Project Reach the World, so the world can see how they locking us up and throwing away the key. Like I said before, you could check out the video link that says what is Project Reach the World. Is a fusion of all my art forms. I use all my art forms to get through all my dark storms. So just in case you didn't see my last video, let me introduce myself. What it is, you guys, it is Yo Girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face too black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. And basically the whole gist of that is that my husband was wrongfully convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison. And I have been trying to break his story. All his legal options have really been exhausted. Um, Even though he didn't get anything, he didn't get an appeal, he didn't nothing. And then I'm told by all types of organizations that it's basically too late for him. It's been too much time that's passed. So your husband basically has no hope of coming home except for you break it in the media and the story gets big. And then that's when we get up off our asses and support stuff. But if it's not big in the media, we don't care. We don't give it the time of day. Um, so I do this channel so that I can break that story. Um, I don't think I'm no closer. I'm 20 years in on his wrongful conviction and fighting for his freedom. And the only way that we're closer to his freedom is because 21 years has passed. So he's done 21 years of his wrongful 40-year sentence. This is the case in point of why I am reviewing the Tory Lanez case. Because when that case, when they seen that, when people heard that he was convicted, I believe it was last week, they were like, how? No evidence? How? You can't do that. He gets an appeal. It was so many things I was seeing in the comments that I'm like, girl, you just don't really know how this works. So it clearly shows that most people don't know the justice system whatsoever. So I want to tell you about this justice system because it is an illusion. It's an illusion that we have all these different rights that they violate. We have the rights, but the problem is that they violate them, and then there's nobody to hold them accountable to violating our rights. So in that case, you don't have no rights if they're not enforced. And one of my favorites, Willie D said that he was like, you can make a law anything, but who's going to enforce it? If they don't enforce it, what's the point in the law? So let me get to those notes where the prosecutor, the video leaked from the prosecutor and Kelsey, because they were saying that it was just shady, like they don't understand the difference in the conflicts between Kelsey's story and Meg's story. So that recording came out after he was convicted, which does remind me of my husband case again. After he was convicted, we were served a paper, and it was a sworn statement, written sworn statement from somebody that my husband and I asked to be at court to testify, because she was one of the only people that said she was there and that Marcello didn't do it. But when we brought it to Marcello's public defender, they said that she's not credible, so they could not use her statement. Okay, they couldn't use her statement bringing her to court, but what they did do was use her sworn statement. Because I was served that after that gavel hit that desk, and I was told that here's something else that got your husband convicted from his public defender. It was never presented in court. I don't understand. Why would you take a sworn statement from her, but you wouldn't call her to court to sit on the witness stand and actually be able to be cross-examined and examined by the state and Marcello's lawyer. Like, that seems underhanded, but these are real things that happen in this legal system. So let me get to my notes, and then I guess we'll part ways. Okay, these are the things that I didn't number them, but it's just bullet points. Okay, that just stood out to me. It kind of would raise red flags or raise questions. And you know, when somebody is convicted, they're supposed to be convicted beyond a shadow of a doubt. That is what our law states, but that is not really what happens. We know that they close many cases with reasonable doubt. But that is grounds for you to come back on an appeal. But know that an appeal is not just granted to you. You have to have money for correct legal representation to actually get the appeal. So you have the right to file for an appeal, but the judge does not have to grant appeal. Okay, so the first thing that stood out to me was Kelsey says that she lost consciousness and she doesn't know for how long. So, first, what I'm going to tell you, this video is contingent on you knowing the story of Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and Kelsey. I think her last name was Harris. It's contingent on you knowing that. If you don't know that, I have another video I'll link in the description box below, which is from, I think it was was it called Street TV? Where the guy actually got the recordings and you can hear the whole interview. So I'll link that in the description box. So maybe you want to watch that first and then come back and watch, my take on it. But anyway, in it, Kelsey says that she lost consciousness and she doesn't know for how long. So everybody was drinking and stuff. You losing consciousness, like that's real. Like, how do we know that you came back and this and that, and when you came back, and how do we know that you sobered up and this and that? And that as well happened in my husband's case, because the people claim they were so drunk that they didn't know what was happening, but they quickly sobered up and they were able to give an account that what my husband is in for 40 years is an alleged attempted robbery of $60. And I specifically, that is not a mistake. That's what they wrote in their statements. They wrote 80, that he robbed them of 80. And when the police arrested him and found that he did not have 80 on him, he in fact had only 60. The police gave back their sworn affidavits and told them to cross it out and write in 60. So when it came up in court, hold on, y'all said that he robbed 80 from you, but he only has 60. And their answer was, well, we were so shaken up that we meant 80 but wrote 60. I'm sorry, we meant 60 but wrote 80. That's even messing me up, girl. But they were claiming to have been drunk that night. So how do you take, I don't understand that. Everybody drinking, drunk, don't know what's going on, but you're able to take their testimony on the witness stand. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because you don't know when this person, how much did the person have to drink? How do you know for sure they were of sober mind from the testimony that you're telling? How do you know? And you can tell, like, when a lot of conflict of the story is happening, that okay, things are not lining up. Could it be because they were not conscious? They don't know really what happened, so now they're just trying to figure out what happened. Okay, then my second thing is, where the heck is EJ? Like, they're doing a lot of talking about EJ. Why is EJ like not in here? It's like, it seems like he would have a lot more to say about this case. Like, that's missing. That's giving me some reasonable doubt. What the heck do he have to do with this? Okay. How has she? Oh yeah, she said she was unconscious in the pool. How, girl, how? And she didn't drown. Like, what type of pool you in that you unconscious? Like, think about just falling asleep in the pool. Like, how she unconscious in the pool? But she said she was unconscious in the pool, right? When she was at Kylie Jenner's house. That stood out to me to be weird. Okay, at timestamp. Now, I did write these according to the timestamps in the video linked in the description box. So that's what these timestamps are pertaining to. So at timestamp 13 minutes and 39 seconds, she says, I just want to make sure I'm not losing my and then she pauses. And I'm like, my what? Like, she's talking and talking, and then she says that I'm not sure if I'm losing my and it seems like she was about to say something that could have possibly be incriminated. Like, what is it that she's trying to hold back right there? Right there, she's holding something back. Something's not being brought forward. And let me make this disclaimer. I'm not on Team Tory or Team Meg. I don't know what happened. I am only reviewing this on the basis of trying to shed light in a way, looking from justice, not from who's my favorite rapper, what really is supposed to happen in the justice system, because you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. So these things are giving me shadows of doubt, girl. Oh, I like that. Shadows of doubt. Yes, I could make a poem about that, or make like some type of, yeah, I love that. Okay. If they came with EJ and Tory didn't want to ride with them, why not just ride back with EJ? See, I don't understand. Why did they get back in the car? Like, that doesn't make sense. You came with one person, you came with EJ, but now, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then they ride with Tory in his car, but Tory don't want to get in the car. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And they had EJ just go home by himself. Like, something just don't, I don't know. Okay, whom they came with. Yes, I got that. Who they came with. Now Meg goes into get a shoe. So that's how they got back to Kylie house. They should say she left her slipper, right? And I'm wondering, is that slipper that she left, is that the same foot that she got shot in? That would be crazy. Okay, then Tory comes out to get in the car with them and seems cool. Oh, I'm sorry. It says it seems odd. Then Tori comes out to, hold on, my handwriting. Then Tori comes out and gets in the car with them. That seems odd. Okay, yeah. Like, he's not even driving, but he later gets in the car. That seems odd. Okay, so at timestamp 18 minutes and 47 seconds. No, girl, I'm messing all up. 18 minutes and 47 seconds. He said, my N word, I'll shoot you. He reaches for the console, but pulls nothing out. Okay, that stood out to me because that's bringing in a weapon. But I think in this case, they're saying they did recover the weapon. But I highlighted that because that's all it takes for you to be charged with weapons charges, which weapon enhancements. That stood out to me because really that's all that is need to be said. Somebody said there's a weapon and you can be charged with that weapon whether they recover it or not. That happened in my husband's case. Somebody said that a weapon was there and pulled out on them, but they also said it was not fired and nobody was shot, killed, hurt, injured, nothing. And they walked away from that alleged incident the way that they walked into it. So That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be charged with weapon charges without them even recovering a weapon. That means I literally could get in a fight with you and claim that you had a weapon, and you could be charged with charges like weapon charges. And weapon charges will escalate your charge from up to 4 times. It can escalate your charge by 4 times, and they don't have to really recover it. That doesn't make sense. Like, how are you? How? That's why it really is necessary to have evidence line up in a case. Like, I don't understand this where we're just doing all these circumstantial cases where the evidence looks all crazy and all over the place, but we're going to circumstantially say that this is, you know what I mean? Okay, Kelsey says she don't know how he gets in the front. She says, guess he must have jumped over. It was very smooth transition because he didn't hear it, because we didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. He's shooting over the front passenger door. So they were asking, like, basically they were getting out the car, and then Tory jumps over the car very smooth. They don't even know how he got in the front seat. Like, they just say he just smoothly jumped over there, I guess. Um, that just, I don't know, that's something right there. Just, I don't know. Okay, Kelsey's, that's where I left off. So at, does that say 30? Hold on. Oh, no, that says 20 minutes and 13 seconds. That was where that issue is. Okay, at 25 minutes, that's where it says he's shooting over the front passenger door. And they were asking her, like, how was he shooting over the door? Because I literally was trying to picture it in my mind, but it wasn't really giving me a clear vision of how he could be shooting over the door. I don't know, unless it was like that crack in the door where what were they in front of the car, were they on the side of the car, were they in the back of the car? Like, you really need to know and see the full, because it's very hard to visualize. That's what I was, you literally have to see it, honestly, because everybody can envision something different in their mind. And I was trying to envision how he could have been angled in that car to be shooting over the door. Okay, she keeps referring, this is at 39 minutes and 26 seconds. She keeps referring to Megan as being very calm and not knowing what side of convo they had. So I'm sorry, what side convo they had. So it was several times that she referred to, she thinks that Tory and Megan had some type of conversation when they got out the car, or it was another instance when she wasn't sure if it was that time or that time, but Megan was like mysteriously calm, like after being shot, and she doesn't understand, like, that doesn't make sense. If you're shot, like, how are you so calm? But she's thinking, well, the way it looks like she's inferring that whatever conversation that they had is what led to her being so calm after being shot. Okay, another question I had is, why was Kelsey even arrested? I don't get it. Like, you're only supposed to be arrested if you're a suspect in the case. Like, when an incident happens, they don't just arrest everybody there. Well, in real life, yeah, you can be wrongfully arrested. Anything go down and you're there, yeah, you will be arrested right along with everybody else. But then in that case, they did arrest everybody, but Meg. They didn't arrest Meg. So I don't understand why Kelsey was even arrested. Okay, at minute number 41 and 22 seconds, she says she almost regrets not speaking on herself and only on Megan. So after the whole situation happened, it seems that the story was leaked, and then people were just calling her all types of names, saying that because they said she was present, they were saying that she shot Megan. So she was basically trying to help Megan, but then she thought that in turn Megan was going to help her, and now her name is muddied and nobody's helping her, and she's like out here on her own getting threats and this and that. So that was kind of weird. Like she almost regrets. Like, why does she say that? I almost regret, because that almost regret leads me to think I could have been in real trouble, but for that means something was going to happen, but it didn't quite happen. So, why does she regret? Is it because she could have done the time for this, or what is it that she's regretting? Because something more would be behind that statement, I believe. Okay, so at 41 minutes and 44 seconds. At the time, Kelsey says, at the time, she didn't know what was disclosed. Now she knows. And I don't understand what was it that was disclosed. So it's saying that back then she was naive to the fact of what was happening, but now she knows what's truly happening. But they only infer, like you never really hear what she believes now really happened. Okay, so did everyone go to jail? This is me questioning, except Megan. She says she thought that's how it's supposed to go. So Kelsey just thought that when anybody shot, everybody just gets arrested. I don't think you can do that. Like, I don't know. I really don't think that's how that go. So it had to be a reason they was arresting her. Like, that ain't how it goes. Someone just gets shot, everybody gets arrested. But I do know there is the felony M word rule, where if somebody does shoot somebody in the commission of a crime and they're injured or killed, you actually get the same, if you're present with them, you get the same charge as them, basically. So that could be, we going to the store, I don't know what you about to do, I'm going in the shop, but you got other things in mind, and then you go and you try to rob the place and you shoot somebody in the admission of that robbery. I can go to jail for life or whatever stint of time as well, because I was accompanying you. So I don't know. It just raised questions. All of these are just raising red flags to me. I am. Please don't take it that I'm on her side. Cause and after hearing the full case, I don't know who to even side with. So I would have been a hung jury anyway. Okay. So at minute 42 and 39 seconds, Kelsey says that she doesn't remember her hands being swabbed. Okay, so that would allude to the fact that, girl, you go on to bed, you could be more drunk than you think you are if your hands were swabbed and you don't know if they were. Like, girl, I'm going to remember when I was violated going to see my husband in that prison. I remembered every single thing that happened. Like, I would have knew if they had been swabbing my hands, or if they did this, if they did that. Because when you're on high alert, you take mental notes. It's like you start, and girl, we know her memory good, because she got up there and she told that stuff word for word for word, and told you this and told you that. So we know she got a memory. How, I don't know. How would she not remember something like that that's so detrimental? Okay, so I wrote a statement. It says, it seems like she's saying too much. Like, girl, you everything that you say and do will be used against you in a court of law. So you can't be just yapping off at the mouth. I would be given short short sentences, whether like, now this is from a standpoint of a woman whose husband is wrongfully convicted. So you are there with the prosecutors. And I know, like, if you feel like you didn't do it and you know that you're innocent, you would want to trust them, and you would want to, I'm about to run out of time. You would want to tell them everything that you know. But the thing is, you don't know how they're trying to spin this story, because usually when they get a story and they get a suspect that they trying to make sure they convict, you don't know where you fall in line with that story. So I wouldn't be so forthcoming with saying way too much. So that part she says, unless she still had very high adrenaline. Girl, you talking way too much right there, because that can incriminate yourself. Anyways, I have another couple of pages of notes, so I do have to do that in another video because I'm running out of time. All right, y'all. It's your girl Cadillac.